Okay, in this video I'm gonna remind you how we find the equation of a line going through two given points. So here we have points A and B with given coordinates, and this is the formula. This is the point slope equation of a line. Okay, with this formula we can find the equation of a line going through a given point with coordinates x0, y0 and slope m. So we could apply it to this if we had the slope, but we don't. So in the first place we have to find the slope. Find the slope, and then the coordinates of x0 and y0 could be any coordinates of these 2 points, of one of those points. So first we are going to find the slope. And the formula for the slope, remember, it was y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And what is the y2, y1, x2, x1? The coordinates of these points. I decide which point is 1 and which point is 2. So for me, A is going to be 1, so this would be x1, y1, and B is going to be 2. So this would be x2, y2. The x and the y, I can't decide. The x is always the first coordinate and the y the second. X first coordinate, y is the second. Okay, so let's do the calculations here. y2 minus y1, y2, 1, minus y1 minus negative 3 divided by x2, negative 5 minus 2. So 1 minus minus, that is plus, so 1 plus 3, that is 4. And minus negative 5 minus 2, that's negative 7. Okay? The minus sign, I'm going to put it in the middle of the fraction. Okay? We can put it on the top, on the bottom, or in the middle. Usually we put it in the middle. And now we apply this formula. Okay? Now I have the slope m, and the coordinates x0 and y0 are going to be the coordinates of one of these 2 points. It doesn't matter which. I'm going to pick A, for instance, but it could be B. So in this case, x0 is going to be 2. So now this one becomes 0. x0 becomes 2 and y0 becomes minus 3. So I apply that formula. Y minus y0, which is minus 3, equals m minus 4/7 times x minus x0, which is 2. Okay, so now y minus minus is plus, y plus 3. I multiply inside the parentheses, so minus 4/7 of x plus 8/7. Okay, and now I just move this plus 3 to the other side, minus 3, and then I get minus 4/7 of x, and here I'm going to add these 2 fractions, least common multiple 7. 7 divided by 1 is 7 times 3 is 21, so 8 minus 21, that's going to be minus 13, negative 13/7. This is the equation of the line going through these 2 points. So if we have one of the points, point A, could be here, point A, and point B minus 5, 1 could be here. So we have found the equation of the line going through those 2 points. Okay? You can check it out with Desmos to check that the calculations are right. Okay, we are going to go on with more calculations. We are going to find now the equation of a line parallel to this one going through point C. Point C is gonna be -2, 3. Coordinates -2 and 3. And now we are gonna apply the same formula, point slope formula. But well, for the point slope formula, the slope is gonna be the same because we want a parallel line. We want this -2, 3. This point C might be here, and we want the equation of the line going through C and parallel to the first line. So if they are parallel, the slope is going to be the same. So we apply the formula with the same slope. But what about the point? In this case, we don't want A or B. The line doesn't go through A or B, it goes through a different point, C. So the coordinates in this case are going to be these coordinates here. This is going to be x0 and this is going to be y0. Okay? Then let's apply this formula with these coordinates and with the same slope as before because they are parallel, so they have the same slope. Y minus y0, so y minus 3 equals m, same as before, 4/7, x minus -2, x minus x0. So now let's solve for x. First I'm gonna solve this minus minus, that makes it plus. Now I'm gonna multiply inside, so minus 4/7 of x and minus 4 times plus 2, that would be minus 8/7. And finally this minus 3 goes to the other side, plus 3, and what do I get? Minus 4/7 of x and minus 8/7 plus 3, I add those two fractions. Now 3 is 21/7, okay, this common multiple 7, 7 divided by 1 is 7 times 3 is 21, so in this case it's going to be positive because 21 is greater than 8, so plus 13/7. This is the equation of the line parallel to the previous one and going through point C. Okay? And now we are going to find the equation of the perpendicular line. Okay? A line perpendicular to the first one and going through C. We are going to find the equation of this line. This line. It goes through point C and is perpendicular to the first one and of course to the second because both are parallel, so it's perpendicular to both of them. So in this case, the coordinates for point C, the point through which the line is going to go through, is the same. So the coordinates x0 and y0 would be the same as before. The coordinates for point C. But the slope is not the same. We have to remember a formula. The slope of the perpendicular line is the opposite inverse of the slope of the line. So we have to reverse the fraction and change the sign. So instead of minus 4/7, it would be, in this case, m would be plus, change the sign, plus, and reverse the fraction. Plus 7/4, okay? Positive 7/4. And now we have everything to apply the formula. So y minus y0, y minus 3 equals m, we said is 7/4, x minus x0, which is minus 2. So y minus 3, 7/4 of x minus times minus is plus 2. Let's multiply inside. Y minus 3 equals 7/4 of x plus 14/4. Okay, let's take a second here to simplify this fraction. Okay, divide by 2 on the top and the bottom, so 7/2. 7/2. Okay, and now let's bring this minus 3 to the other side, plus 3. So we are almost done. Y equals 7/4 of x, and now 7/2 plus 3. 3 is how many halves? 6 halves. So 7/2 plus 6 halves is 13 halves. And this is the equation of the perpendicular line. The line perpendicular to both previous lines and going through point C. Okay.